Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
Bubble Boy. It's incorrect. Has to take steroids.
If there's
People.
one set of fans I would not with, it's the Bills.
Children, please. You got a whole life.
Yeah.
Let's buckle up here.
All I want for Christmas is for LeBron James and Serena Williams to have a baby.
Yo.
For science.
She must have been on suicide watch when she saw Gronk dent that thing. We're all going to die.
Smash that like button or I'm going to get kicked out of the house. I can't pay rent.
Switch it over to NBA. The play-in tournament. So I'm going to go over it, and then we're going to... Yeah, you got to use this. But the play-in tournament, I'm going to describe what it is. For those that don't know what it is, there's going to be 3 games. The first game is between the 7th and 8th seed. And whoever wins that will play in game 3. And then the second... Oh, no, the loser of that... Let me start over. I am terrible at this right now.
You good, dog?
Play-in tournament for the NBA. Game 1, it's 7th seed and 8th seed play. And then game 2 is the 9th and 10th seed play. And then in the third game, the winner of the second game plays the loser of the first game. I know that's so confusing, and I just butchered that so much. It's really simpler than that. But what do you guys think of it? The potential 10th seed being in the playoffs.
I liked it last year, but this year I'm pulling a LeBron is what I'm doing. Like last year I thought it was cool. I thought it was a good idea. It was just more basketball, and honestly, especially like after we had that little play-in or whatever it was, like the end of the, I don't know, whatever that thing was, the bubble tournament where Booker went 8-0. After that, I was like, okay, more basketball. I'm all for it. Keep the trend. I liked it. I don't know. This year, it just seems like a little much. It really does.
Yeah.
It's like, why? Especially because you can lose the first game and then still make it as the 10 seed. And I think if you lose, you should be out, especially as a play-in tournament.
So if the 10th seed loses or the 9th or 10th seed lose that first game, they're done.
Yeah, but I still don't like it. I don't like that even if you're the 8th seed or the whatever it is, the 7th seed, if you lose, you can still make it. It's playoff basketball at this point, or it should be considered playoff basketball. It's like
it basically is. I have 2 pros and 1 con to it. Pro, it's something new, and I know they did it a little last year, but it's something new. They're trying something else, and that's why I always applaud the NBA. They're trying to bring new things into it. And the second pro is it discourages tanking, so it's not so much, you know what I mean? Because if you can be a 10th seed, it's like, or you're an 11th seed, do you try to win a few more games to maybe make the playoffs?
I mean, if you're an 11th seed, do you really think you have a shot at being a 1 seed?
But that's the thing. As a player, you don't really care about that first overall pick or whatever. You just want to try to make playoffs and win it.
Yeah.
The con is, to that point, you're going to have a lot of bad teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, especially if an 11 seed makes like a halfway decent run.
And then they get to the 10th seed, and then they go off for a couple games, and then they got to go play the first overall seed.
Yeah, then they go play LA and get swept in 4, and it's like, well, that was all a whole bunch of hoopla.
Imagine who's
because that's how the gap in some of these teams is that big. You know what I mean?
That's playing a 10th seed. That's terrible. That's not.
Who would
fun.
that be? That would be like, I don't even know.
Who's
got like a 30 win? That would be like the Nets playing the Hornets. The Hornets might get 1 game, but they're not a playoff team yet.
That's the thing.
And no disrespect to the Hornets, I think they will be either next year or the year after. They're on poise to be.
But the gap is just that big between the first seed and a 10th seed.
It is huge. There's 0 chance that they would pull out and win that game or win that series.
I applaud them trying to do new things because that's why we always like the NBA. Adam Silver's trying new things, trying to be progressive, change up the game. I mean, I don't think it's going to last, though, because a lot of players, well, LeBron loved it last year when he didn't have to play in it, and now that he does, or potentially could, he goes, I think it's stupid. He's like, whoever made this up should be fired.
It's like, you liked it last year, bro. I saw the tweet. We all see it.
We saw the report.
That's like, did you see Skip Bayless's tweet where it was like, it was the, I don't know, 8-year anniversary or something of when he tweeted Johnny Football was going to be more to Ohio than LeBron? Everyone's like, yeah, that didn't age well at all.
No. Yeah, play-in tournament, I mean, like, excited to watch it this year because it's something different. Maybe get a couple good games out of it. But once again, these are the lower seeds. They're not going to be as talented. I mean, a good matchup potentially could be the Lakers and Warriors 1 game. That could be kind of cool. LeBron, if he's healthy.
Not yet, but even the Warriors with Steph, it's like, yeah, Steph could steal a game, but it's like...
But then after that, it's like, okay, now you're going to get
no disrespect to Steph, but your team is not as good as LA.
No, not even close.
And it's like, maybe next year, but as far as a plan, it's almost I mean,
But
Steph Curry's a little different because he could do things that nobody else can do. With
but this
basketball.
also it just kind of plays in the fact where the NBA has a regular season problem. If
Yeah.
all these guys are making the playoffs, and I know it's only 8 on each side, but if I only have to make a 10th seed to potentially make it, but
I don't know how you fix it.
I don't either. Well, the way to fix it is let less teams into the playoffs, but they're not going to do that.
No,
They're not going to do that because then that takes away playoff games, that takes away
That-
revenue.
and like
And
you
that's
said,
why
that
they're
then
doing-
encourages tanking.
Exactly. So that's one of the pros, but I think they've even gotten away from that more and more in the NBA. There isn't so much tanking because once the 76ers did that for like 5 years in a row, and they're like, we need to fix this. But, so Faye, you haven't really said much. Do you like it or not?
I'm all in for more basketball. It just makes me think about you know how LeBron doesn't like this.
Yeah.
LeBron
Well,
doesn't like this. It
doesn't
makes
like
me
this
think-
now.
right. It makes me think of what he said last year. He was like, we should absolutely do this more, blah, blah, blah. And then this year he was like, whoever thought of this should be fired. And I was like, Bron, my guy, that's hilarious.
My dog.
I get it, but no. Like, but I'm all for it. Honestly, I am. I know that. But here's the thing: if the 11th seed makes a good run, and what if they knock off like that first seed? Imagine that. Imagine it. That's a great story.
So I agree where it's like Cinderella story. I'm going to say risk towards a reward. That's not exactly the big thing, but like Cinderella story, 10th seed wins it all. That's unbelievable. But I don't. The skill gap is just so big. I don't see it happening. I'm clearly missing something. I don't know how I'm not noticing this.
I'm like every time you turn away, I'm like, how many hats can I call before James notices again?
But or is it? Yeah, if like the 10th seed somehow wins the playoff tournament and then they beat the number 1 seed and they go on this run, it'd be like in a 2011 Mavs kind of thing. But it's like that's a 1% chance. Is that
Right.
worth putting through just crappy playoff rounds year in year out
Well,
for
at
maybe
least
once?
like those. It's
It
the
gives
bottom,
Damian
it's the
Lillard
bottom
a chance.
tier teams playing each other. At least it's that. At least it's not like. At least it's not like their playing game is to play the first seed.
Oh my god, that would suck. One
Yeah,
game.
could that-
Why are we here?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's the point? At least it's the bad teams playing each other.
So that's why
That's the
I
only
think
thing I can say about that.
that's why it could be exciting.
Bro,
We're
as a
playing-
1 seed, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, why am I here?
No, exactly.
Can we start our backups?
Yeah.
Because this
Yeah,
is,
it makes no sense.
This is terrible.
Yeah, it's not good.
Come on.